All of us who are fans of the Star Wars villain with the most fanatical cult following, Grand Admiral Thrawn, have often wondered how he would fare if he were to fight against the Empire rather than for it. This video will be the first in this story-based series that will pit Grand Admiral Thrawn against the Galactic Empire with Emperor and Vader on the hunt. If you are unfamiliar with Grand Admiral Thrawn, I recommend watching the animated series Star Wars Rebels, starting with Season 3, or getting the Legends novels by Timothy Zahn. And if you want to help the channel out, you can get either through the link in the description below. Additionally, I've linked another YouTube video that will give you a quick explanation about Thrawn, who I think is the most fascinating Star Wars villain, right up there with Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader. Before beginning, there are two things I would like to address. At the time of the composition of this video, Season 4 of Star Wars Rebels hasn't aired. We know Thrawn will be featured in Season 4, as he was in Season 3, and his fate is still unknown to me. It is possible he will be reassigned to the unknown regions like in the Legends novels, or abandon the Empire entirely. In which case, any similarities between what happens in this video and what actually happens in Star Wars Rebels is purely incidental. Also, Thrawn will not be joining the Rebels. Thrawn is a pragmatic realist. The Rebel Alliance is too idealistic for him. Thrawn knows that danger lurks at the fringes of the galaxy, and that at least temporarily, a militaristic regime needs to control the galaxy for its own protection. This video also ties in with a separate Star Wars storyline I am working on. Although incomplete, it involves Thrawn, pirates, and cyborgs. Now, let's get down to it. It has been 3 years since the Rebels have destroyed the Death Star at the Battle of Yavin. Our story begins when an old dreadnought exits hyperspace with the Imperial Star Destroyer Chimera beyond. An old YT-1300 class light freighter flies from the dreadnought to the Star Destroyer. When the freighter lands in the hangar of the Star Destroyer, a shrouded figure, lying prone, is carried down the ramp. Grand Admiral Thrawn greets the newcomers in the hangar. The newcomers are harshly dressed and heavily armed. They are pirates. Thrawn says, "Ah, Commodore Rayate, my old opponent. Welcome to the Chimera." The pirate leader responds, "Thrawn, my old enemy, now frenemy. What's this all about?"
"I see you have found the treasure. Excellent. You will be well compensated as promised. I have more work for you if you are interested. Will you join me in my gallery?"
The cyborg pirate shrugs and says, "Lead on." In the muted light of Thrawn's holographic gallery, light rays erect the images of 4 ominous bronzium statues.
"Do you recognize these figures, Commodore?"
"Hey, they look like the one I brought you, except newer."
"Correct. These 4 statues sit in the throne room of our esteemed Emperor. They are the 4 sages of Duarte. The statue you brought me was one of the originals."
"Well, that's fascinating. They are a bit too reverent for my taste."
"Reverent, yes. The 4 sages were influential political philosophers from a time when the Sith controlled the Old Republic from behind the scenes. They are symbols of order, a kind of serenity that benefits and ingratiates the powerful, while disregarding the common being as tools to be used for what the powerful consider to be a greater good. Of course, it is a greater good where only the powerful benefit."
Yeah, that's why I'm a pirate. No fan of the Empire here. Present company excluded, of course. You know, Thrawn, normally you don't look at people's art unless you intend to attack them. What are you going to do?
If the Emperor continues his cult style of leadership, the rebellion will only grow, which will lead to the Emperor's own demise. It could mean the fall of the Empire and the rise of a militarily weak New Republic. I cannot allow that to happen.
So, you want to replace the Emperor? How, and with who? You?
Don't be so presumptuous about my ambitions. Politics is not my arena. But in order to succeed, I must first address the Vader conundrum.
Thrawn turns to face the pirate leader, and his red eyes smolder with energy.
"Commodore Rayate, you are hired and on retainer. What we will attempt to do is dangerous, but if you will trust me, I will see us through. and you will profit greatly. I have been summoned to Coruscant. I need you to send one of your transports there, where I will seek passage aboard it when my business on Coruscant is concluded, and then I will rendezvous with your dreadnought at these coordinates.
Several days later on Coruscant, the Emperor says, "Rise." The 4 admirals kneeling before the Emperor in his throne room rise to their feet. Thrawn, along with Admiral Piet, Fleet Admiral Rax, and Admiral Sloane, are all directed towards a tactical holographic projector. Thrawn notes that all the fleet brass are present except for Darth Vader. Emperor Palpatine first says, "Oh, Grand Admiral Thrawn, I very much appreciated your gift. Original statues of the Dwalti sages are rare."
My pleasure, Your Highness. It is nice to share an appreciation of fine art with you.
Indeed. Begin the presentation. The battle plan to use the new Death Star as bait to trap the rebel fleet in Endor is a good one. It had been conceived by Palpatine and Fleet Admiral Rax. There is just one minor issue with it, and Thrawn is not afraid to speak his mind.
The plan is sound at face value, but ultimately inefficient. The Imperial fleet will surely take massive losses.
Everyone holds their breath at the possibility of Thrawn's outspokenness being perceived as insubordination. The Emperor says, "And why is our plan inefficient?" Thrawn elaborates.
The past has shown us that when you put the rebels in what they perceive to be a desperate situation, they will fight their hardest. There are other ways to defeat the rebels without forcing them into a corner.
Admiral Piet and Sloane are curious, and their expressions indicate that they want to hear more about Thrawn's alternative plan. But clearly, Rax and Palpatine are less than enthusiastic. "There is no alternative," Rax says. "We must demonstrate the Death Star's power and crush the rebel fleet while we have a chance."
Nevertheless,
Thrawn responds,
it would be better to let the rebels think they have a chance to escape, and then crush them while they clamor for retreat.
"Admiral Thrawn, while you are an excellent tactician, I must disagree with you this time," Palpatine says. "I have my reasons. The rebels must be made to feel hopeless. It is the only way to proceed. Naval casualties are immaterial. There are other factors at work of paramount importance."
As you wish, Emperor, Thrawn concedes.
The Emperor says, "I had considered having Thrawn command the fleet at Endor, but I must put someone in command who fully trusts my orders. Admiral Piet will command the fleet at Endor." "Thank you, my lord," Piet says. "It will take a couple of years yet before the battle station is operational. We will be ready." Palpatine ends the meeting. A name is all it takes to antagonize Darth Vader. No sooner are the words Anakin Skywalker breathed from Thrawn's lips that Thrawn finds he is unable to draw another breath, and he is dangling in midair with the abyss of Coruscant's deep city below him. Vader has his fist outstretched, standing on a balcony nearby, with his cape fluttering in the breeze. Thrawn manages to squeak out the words from his clenched throat.
"Can help you find Luke Skywalker."
Thrawn is suddenly yanked back onto the balcony and claws at his throat near Vader's boots.
"Tell me,"
Vader says. When Thrawn recovers his composure and rises, he regards Vader with red eyes smoldering with determination.
"My sources have determined that the rebels have acquired a DSS-02 type shield generator. This would certainly be used to protect the new rebel base. It was purchased from the Hydian Way trade route and moved downspin from the outer rim. I can provide you with a more precise area of space to conduct your search for the rebel base. There you will find Luke Skywalker." "What is it that you want?"
Vader asks. Thrawn shrugs.
"I want the same thing you do, of course. A stable empire, one that is not encumbered by a fanatical form of cultism. One that can be ruled by someone who understands that a galaxy in slavery, as you were once enslaved, cannot stand." "You refer to the dark side of the Force as a fanatical cult, but in spite of my demonstration, you continue to underestimate its true power." Perhaps. Indeed, I have seen the use of the Force, and it is truly awesome. But I am skeptical that the Force will protect the galaxy from what is coming. I believe your Emperor has lost perspective in favor of a kind of madness.
My Emperor, not your Emperor. I am sparing your life only because you have given me information about Luke Skywalker, who will have his own Sith name in time. Anakin Skywalker is dead. I killed him myself. You should go now, before I decide that you are too dangerous to be allowed to live.
In deep space, the YT-1300 transport Skipjack arrives at Rayate's dreadnought. After it touches down in the hangar, Thrawn walks down the ramp and is greeted by the old pirate, Commodore Rayate.
I want to show you something,
Thrawn says. Thrawn walks to the nearest holoprojector, inserts a data card, and activates what appears to be a recording from inside Emperor Palpatine's throne room. How did you get that? Oh, of course, that statue. You must have put a recording device and transmitter inside it. Very clever. Thrawn grins while an image of Admiral Sloane and Darth Vader kneel before the Emperor. When they rise, the Emperor says, "As Lord Vader already knows, Grand Admiral Thrawn is a traitor."
Yes, my master. He is too dangerous. He still has his fleet and captains that will be loyal to him. He will try to defect to the Chiss Ascendancy. I am ready to hunt him down if you wish.
No need, Lord Vader. Your current search for the rebel base has priority. Admiral Sloane, is your new fleet composition ready? Yes, Your Highness, Sloane says. My ships are faster than Thrawn's older star destroyers. We stand ready to intercept his fleet before he reaches the unknown regions. Excellent. Take him alive if possible. If not, destroy him. When the holographic image fades, Rayate looks at Thrawn with astonishment. Wow, you're in trouble. No wonder you wanted to travel using my ships.
Yes,
Thrawn agrees.
Your past association with me is likely to be known by the Empire. We're in this together now, Commodore, and I still require your services.
Great. That's just great. What now?
Plot a course for the Star Destroyer Chimera. The game is about to begin.
Stay tuned for the next episode, Space Friends. Thank you very much for watching. Consider becoming a patron on Patreon if you would like me to increase the frequency and quality of my videos. Remember to subscribe, like, and feel free to comment and let me know what you think is going to happen next. Do you think Thrawn will succeed? Do you think he'll be able to oust the Emperor and replace him with someone else? Do you think he'll be able to stand up against Vader? Keep evolving, Space Friends, until next time.